Then let's quickly jump ahead into the system and we'll try to run this cycle. So I would be logging to our system. I hope you have done the system navigation, the people who are using the SAP system for first time. So as per this process which we have discussed, we need to start with the demand. Demand is created with the transaction MD61. Okay. Now what we will be doing, we'll try to do an end-to-end cycle. And this end-to-end cycle, not only now, we would be doing multiple times. So we'll do it now, then we'll set it up our own enterprise structure. Then we'll set it up our own master data. With that, again, we'll do this cycle again. Then we'll be having going through the manufacturing executions, multiple things, multiple different kind of confirmations, how the scrap can be booked. There are so many things in manufacturing execution. You would be going in detail. Then also you would be repeating the steps and we'll be going into the details of it. Right now, we want to cover the overview that if end-to-end scenario need to be covered, what different transaction would be required from the end user perspective. That's what we'll try to cover. Okay. So the first transaction is /n MD61. And when I am putting this, I will also put this transaction into my favorites and then we'll put it into the PP folder. Okay. So before I create the plant independent requirement, I need to check my overview of this material. That currently, what are the forecast requirements are there? What is the plant orders, production order, and what is the stock of that material exist? That overview, I can get it from the transaction MD04. So MD04, I'm going ahead and I will try to see we will now, what we are going to execute this scenario, we would be using the standard master data first. Okay, so this we would be doing it with the so we'll be using to run our scenario a material FG228 and plant 1710, that is a USA plant. So with this data, we'll try to understand, we'll try to run the scenario. This data is already existing. This data is a best practice data given by SAP. And today, once we have done this cycle, then we will be spending at least 3 weeks of time to set it up our own system, our own master data, and then we'll run one cycle with our own data. Okay, with the neat and clean, our own plant, our own material, our own BOM, our own routing, our own work center, our own cost center, our own production estimate, with everything our own, we'll try to run this scenario. Okay, and we'll start with the system configurations from today itself. So this is a best practice data. We'll be using this data and I have an assignment created for it. I will give you a screenshot for that assignment, which you can follow to complete it, right? So this data, we are going to use it first to execute our standard business process in the SAP system. So FG228 is my material, which I have said that we will be using. Now, this is an MD04 screen. This screen is a little complicated. We'll be coming to these screens multiple times. So you take your time. I don't expect that in first way, when you see this screen, you will be able to understand everything from this screen. But slowly, during this 1.5 months of training, try to go through this screen again and again so that you would be able to more understand. So this screen, what do it tells you right now for this material, for this plant? It is telling for this material, for this plant, we are having available stock. So stock, it is saying 1241. And it is saying the independent requirement LSF. Independent requirement is forecast. Open forecast, which has not been realized, means against this, we have not booked the sales orders. That kind of forecast is there. And I have a production order also. So the stock is for 1214, forecast is for 17, okay, and production order is for 2. Production order 2 is in positive because production order is my supply. Supply means it will generate stock. And forecast will reduce the stock. So I have a forecast of 17. I have a production order of 2. So 1241 minus 17 plus 2. We are right now in excess of 1226. That much stock we are having. And as of now, we don't have any further sales order. We don't have any forecast which can fulfill that. That kind of things are not there. That's what this MD04 screens tells us, right? If the sales orders are there, further planned orders are there, that will also be coming it up. And based on the demand supply, system will do plus minus, and we would be getting a quantity here. Right now, this quantity is coming here in positive. As soon as this quantity comes as a negative, after the MRP run, a proposal would be generated. Now, if you will be running MRP run with this data, nothing will happen because we already have a more stock. What MRP will do, right? There's no shortage. If there's no shortage, MRP does not propose anything. So this is the MD04 screen stock. It is called stock requirement list or material planning analysis.